Ian, we've been talking about pastors, the role of a pastor. You've been in it for quite a while, most of your life. So what would you say what are the qualities of a pastor? What do you think a pastor what should we look for in a pastor?
I guess as far as the Bible is concerned, it gives a list of character qualities. When we're looking at the actual gift of a pastor, there are other things that we look for, and I think a natural pastor, a pastor that's gifted as a pastor, operates differently to someone who has the title but is not necessarily gifted as a pastor. He may be a prophet, he may be an evangelist, but I think...
So you're saying that we do have some leaders in the church that are not really an ascension gift of a pastor?
Yes, and I think we would say to them, as Paul said to Timothy, do the work of an evangelist. You may not be an evangelist, but do the work of an evangelist. So if you have the title pastor, you may not be totally gifted as a pastor, but in that office you still have to do the work of a pastor. So I think a natural pastor, shepherd, if you kind of get the analogy with shepherd and sheep, but I think one of the first qualities of a pastor is he must be likeable. You can't get people to follow you or take directions if you're not likeable. By likeable I mean absorbing and developing the fruit of the Spirit. And it's just on that basis of people don't like you. You can't lead them anywhere. It's very interesting that even in business, they say that 15% of people are promoted because of their abilities and their knowledge. 85% are promoted because of their people skills or the fact that people like them. They get on well with people. Yep. So I think to lead people, you've got to like them. I think the second thing is a pastor not only deals with the crowd, he deals with the individual. Yep. And so I think the individual has to be listened to. So if the first principle is likeable, the second one is you've got to listen. James said, be quick to listen, be slow to speak. Most of us pastors struggle with that. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And some of our pastors are quick with anger. But often we don't listen to people. It's very interesting, if you go to a conference, you can pick the pastors. The pastors will say, how are you? And be interested in you. The guys who struggle with the gift will say, how are you? And then tell you how wonderful they are. But I think to develop the gift, we have to develop a listening ear. Now, communication people will tell us that communication is 7% words. So often, hurting people sound angry. So a good pastor listens to something beyond words and gets to the heart of the people. To lead the crowd, you have to lead the individual, and so you have to listen.